Okay, in a data-driven world, welcome to this session, guys. So, in a data-driven world, and which is becoming more and more data-driven, visualization of the data has become an utmost important thing. So, Excel comes in the rescue of visualization in terms of what we say, the charts and the graphs. So, we are introducing charts and graphs for you guys to understand. Today, we'll talk about absolute basics about charts and the graphs. So, suppose we have a data here. Now, data can be looked at in two different ways, right? So one way we can look at the data, these are the series. One series is of bears, one series of the dolphins, one series of the whales. And so we want to say in the month of January how many bears, dolphins, etc. said. In the month of February how many are said. Month of March how many are said. Okay. So there are two ways it can be represented. So basically what I need in the x-axis. Okay. So do I want to see bears and dolphins as the series that will be plotted in the chart, or you want to see January, February, these are the series to be plotted in the chart, which is something is always very confusing. So I click on inside the data, I come to the insert. That is the thing that I should do. There should not be any gap in the data. So I can choose any of the charts. So for our understanding, let me choose what we call the very common one, the column chart. Now, if you look at this particular column chart, there are few elements that has come into this. Now here in the x-axis they are saying January, February, March, April. So they have considered this as series. So one data series, another data series, another data series. So they are showing in the month of January sale of all the series. They have categorized this data. Okay. So but if I want to see it in a different way, if I enter the total sale of the whales together, total sales of the dolphins together, total sales of the whales together in respective of the years. That means I want x-axis to be switched, right? I want to consider this as series rather than this as series. So I need not really reorient my data. I can simply come here. See, once you have inserted an object, the contextual tab has appeared at the top. So you can come to the chart design and you can switch. Once you switched it, see what has happened. Now if you click here, see, it will show you. Now it is considered this as storage, this as the value we are talking about of the x-axis. Right? Again, if you want to switch back, you switch back. So this can always be done. Now, in terms of the components of the chart. So first we have the chart area, and inside we have the plot area. Correct. This is your what do you call the horizontal axis, and this is the vertical axis. These are called the legends, which actually signifies which series axis with the help of the color coding. Now, what else we can do? See, we can click here. In the chart design, we can come in the add chart component. We can add the axis title, right? So I can add the axis title here. I can talk about here. I can write it as months. I can come here. I can add the primary vertical axis. I can talk about the sale. Alright, so here I can click and I can talk about sale and etc. So I can add this titles also. I can remove anything also from there. So if I want to really remove, I do not want the chart title. I can simply remove the chart title. You see the chart title is gone. I can introduce the chart title. I can again click above the chart. Now here the legends. If you don't like the legends here, you can actually manipulate this into something that you need to spend time. You can take it to the right, you can take it to the top, you can take it to the bottom, wherever you find it comfortable and your viewing becomes perfect, you can keep it, or you can simply remove it if you don't want it. That we can delete also. What else we can do? We can introduce data levels. Inside the data, you can see the data levels are there now. They're showing the volume, but if it's not looking good, you can always come to the data levels. You can say outside the loops, you can show the data levels, right? What else you can do? You can show the table with this one also, right? You can show the tables. So lot many things you can do if you want spend chart timing in the chart elements. Right now, other things what you can do. All right, you can color. You can come to the format chart area. You can fill it with any color that you need. You can click on the plot area. You can fill it with any other, excuse me, any other data that you need. So that you can do. So that is the fundamental data we are talking about. You can play around with. All right. Now, sometimes the problem that happens, these two data, if I look at almost similar data, only here I have what I call, we have changed the months into years. So 2019, 2010. So here I plotted the chart, it looked like this. But here if I come, I put insert, then I go to the chart area, something went wrong. You see, something went wrong. This is not looking exactly like this. Here they are talking about, I don't know. Actually, they have picked up this as data. And that is the problem that we face. If they are considering this as series, right? They are also considering this as series because these are the numeric values. Excel has a difficulty of understanding that this is not the x-axis level, but this is the data. So they plotted this here. So if you click here, see they are plotting this here. This is basically meant for the levels. So what can I do for this kind of scenarios? One crude method is definitely you delete the level from here. So once you delete the level from here, Excel will not consider it as a series. Now see, if you come to the insert and you do it, it is showing you the same chart as this one, and also years has been plotted in the axis. But a more professional approach, I tell you, if you really do not want to disturb your data and do not really want to make any changes in there, and why should you change your data for plotting of the graph? So you bring in the data series. That is the whole story. So a professional plotting will be, you click on any blank cell, you come to the insert, you choose whichever chart you need. This time I need a column chart, so I get the chart area. Now in the chart area, I right click. Alright, also you can take it from here, select data. Directly you can click on select data, or you can right click, also you get the same thing, that is called the select data. Now you see, you add series as here. So this is the series name, you can choose the series name. Then you can choose the series here. Alright, and you get one series. Now you have got the luxury of choosing your series. So you can simply ignore dolphin and you can come again, select data, add another series. You can simply choose whales. So now it's up to you which one you want to choose, which one you don't want to choose, right? But they are not showing your the axis. So you can again right click here, you can click on select data. Here the axis comes, doesn't matter it's numeric, doesn't matter it is non-numeric, doesn't matter it is heading, doesn't matter it doesn't have heading. You know, you click it OK, you see you got your heading. So you use the data series, they call the data series. Also, if you see why I have to choose one by one when I can click and do it everything, but for this kind of problems, which is a mistake many times occurred, and identifying the mistake sometimes becomes problematic. So you know, if you have to plot all three, absolutely it doesn't matter. You come to the insert, you choose this one, you click on select data, here you choose everything. Alright. So once you choose everything, you already got your data. Then you select data, you choose the level. You got it. Right. Now see here many things are not there. The levels are legends are not there. So you know how to bring in the legends. Modern here you can click here itself. Here the plus you get everything. Right. So you get the legends here. You get the data tables here. You get the data levels here. You can get the axis here. Directly from here you can get everything and you can be absolutely fantastic. Alright. Now when to use what? We have so many variety of charts. When to use, there is no as such any strong specifications of using different kind of charts, but for understanding when to use, when we have see data in categories like here, we're showing the data in categories. So if you're showing the data in categories, it is better if I choose a column chart, right? It's better if I use a column chart, so the categories can be shown in a much better way. So categorization of data, if I do a comparative analysis, if I used to do, a column chart is a preferable option. Then you come to the line chart. Line chart normally shows a trend. If you want to show a trend, if you want to show a growth and etc. It's preferable that I use a line chart. There are many options of the line chart. You can choose any of the line charts. Now it is clearly showing the sale of the bear is going up. Sale of whales is coming down. The sale of dolphins are almost steady but a bit fluctuating. So this kind of scenario, when you're showing a growth, we're showing a trend lines, etc., we prefer to use a line chart. Now you come to the pie chart. Exactly when you are supposed to pie chart. Pie chart is used only on an individual series, not the whole data. So portion of contribution. So if I want to show in 2009 how many whales, only if I'm considered the year and the whales, and I want to show it in a percentage format and etc. I can do it by using a pie chart. One series analysis. So again, I come to insert. I can choose a pie chart. I can right click. I can select the data. I can click on add. I can from here. I can choose this data. Right? Okay. And from here I can choose this. So this gives me the legend. Okay. Now here I can right click and add my levels. So levels will be added, right? Now you can change the levels into percentage if you wish. If you remove the values, you want to show them in the percentage, you can show the percentage also. So once you bring the level, right click, you go back to the percentage, you can show them in the percentage. If you want to remove the levels, you can remove the levels, you can add the levels, you can add the levels, that you can always do. But it is always about a single series. So instead of this, if I want to show this, I can again come to the insert. I can bring in the pie chart. I can select data. Now, if I want to choose a different series, that means I want to choose this as my series, only 2019 sale if I want to show. So this is my series. So it is showing the data. I can choose dolphins as my levels. Okay, again I show, right click, add level. Fundamentally they will bring it as the numbers. You right click here, you change it to percentage, remove the values, it will show in percentage. Normally you want to show it in percentage in a bar chart. Now the talking about the bar chart. What exactly is a bar chart? Bar chart is something, it's an horizontal representation of the vertical column chart. So when we are supposed to use a bar chart, normally you can say it's your choice, but in specific conditions, if your levels are too lengthy to read, and it is important that the levels should stay in this way, it is preferable to use a bar chart. Now see, if I take this data and if I use a column chart, I will get a column chart, but these levels are not very readable, and not very, you don't have that viewing experience, because charts and bars are always about viewing. So whenever you have that, it's preferred that you use a bar chart. So once you use the bar chart, you see what happens. These levels are also readable and it is representing them. Alright, now there is another chart we call the XY chart. Basically, when we want to represent data in an X and Y format, one is a dependent data, another was an independent data. Now here you see they're talking about the car prices. Alright, so they want to see if there is a trend, there is a relation between your salary and your car. So I want to put salary in the x-axis, car in the y-axis. In this specific cases, we have something we call the scatter chart, right? So I come to the scatter chart here, and I can choose only the scatter. This is showing the scatter only, or you can use scatter with a line. That is absolutely your choice. Or, but it is preferable to show the scatter chart. This looks good. Now, these are the plottings. This is your basically your salary. This is your car prices. Now, see, if you want to really look at the trend here, or is there correlation is positive or negative? You can pick up any of the bubbles, right click, add trend line, it gives you a trend line which is upward. That means there is a strong correlation between your salary and your the purchase capacity of a car. All right. So these are the fundamentals of what we call the basics of charting. Will come with more information later or series. Thank you so much.